what happens in these relationships, man, and the risk about loving a woman is this. And when we say loving, we're talking about, I love my women, but we're talking about being in love. We're talking about falling in love. The risk with that is that you try to do one of these two impossible things. And some men go so far as to try both of these things. What are these things? You either try to change yourself, change your nature to please the woman, or you take on the tedious task of trying to change the woman's nature for yourself. And I ask you, which of those things do you think is actually going to happen? Because I can tell you right now that neither of those things is a possibility. But that's what happens when men get into these relationships and they call themselves in love with a woman. They find themselves trying to change something that cannot be changed, either themselves or the woman. Nature is nature. You can't change nature. Being in love is the most out of control emotional state a man can be in. When a man is in love with a woman, he is outside of his manhood. That's why men look up and they realize all the compromises they've made and all the things that they've changed and all the things that they've done and all the sacrifices that they've made and all the hoops they've jumped through, and they've jumped through flaming hoops with gasoline draws on. They understand all of these things because when you are in love with a woman, when you fall in love with a woman, you fall out of your masculine state. You absolutely fall out of your masculine state. There are many men who love their women. But you could tell when a man is in love with his woman because he compromises his manhood. A man doesn't compromise his manhood unless it's something he's in love with. Now, there are guys out here who are in love with sex. They compromise their manhood for it. But when we're talking about being emotionally attached to a woman, many men compromise their manhood simply because they're in love with the woman. And that emotional state is a treacherous one. That is one treacherous emotional state for a man to be in. I wouldn't wish that on any man. Being in love, I wouldn't wish that on any man. You are absolutely not yourself. When you do that, brother, you're not yourself. Now, something else I'll say to you is this, man. One of the major side effects of loving the wrong woman is that she reciprocates nothing. She gives you nothing in return. She pretty much just leeches your emotion. She just leeches your emotion. She just sifts it out of you. She sucks it out of you. She pulls it out of you like a leech, man. That's what she is. It's the lecherous tendency of a woman to use as much of you as you'll allow her to use. And when you're in love with a woman, you open your entire being up to be used by her. She uses you physically. She uses you spiritually. She uses you emotionally. She uses you mentally. She uses you financially. She uses you sexually. She uses you in all kinds of ways. And you know what the problem is with a man who's in love? One of the crazy side effects of loving the wrong woman is that you enjoy it. You enjoy doing these things. Because when you're in love with a woman, nothing means more to you than her approval. Her approval of you as a man. Her approval of you as a loving man. Her validation of you as a loving man. You must keep in mind, man, that you open yourself up to be an energy reserve for a woman. Now, I'm going to tell you, sometimes on the rare occasion, that will be reciprocated to you by the woman. The woman will reciprocate what you need. You don't need that out of her, but what she'll reciprocate is dedication to your process. Dedication to your progress. Let me tell you what happens. When you fall in love with a woman, you feel like you've won something. And so you lose yourself and your perception of being loved more as you change more. You ever hear a man say, man, if he can get his woman back, man, he'll change, he'll be different? When the last time you heard a woman say, if she can get her man back, she'll change, she'll be different? When have you ever seen a man make a woman where a woman has to change or a man is going to leave her alone? Men be staying with women forever, man. A woman can do anything. Men actually have to change who they are to be with a woman. Let me tell you something. When a man finally gets to the point where he ends up getting the woman back, because this is what happens. When you love the wrong woman, you never get over that woman. No matter what happens, it still bothers you to see her with someone else. It can be 10 years later and it still bothers you to see her with someone else. It bothered you to hear she got married. It bothered you to hear she got pregnant. It bothered you to hear that they got another child on the way. It bothered you to hear that she's cool with your mama. Everything about it bothered you because you lost some of your, man, let me tell you something. Manhood is represented by logic. Manhood is represented by reason. Manhood is represented by wisdom. Manhood is represented by understanding. And manhood is represented by a healthy dose of I don't give a damnness. You lose all of that, man, when you fall in love with a woman. So you better hope that you fall in love with a woman who gives you something in return, who gives you what you need in return, who gives you, at the very least, dedication. Dedication to your process is all you can hope for. You can't hope for that in love from a woman. She don't have it to give. She can't do it. Women aren't built like that to give you that in love that you can give her. So you better hope you get that dedication. You better hope you get that type of understanding where your life, seeing you succeed is the most important thing in her life. Because if you don't get that, man, you're going to end up being one of these guys, man, that just can't continue. You can't even get your life back together anymore because you're still caught up. You're still hung up on that woman. And let me tell you the worst guy. The worst guy is the one you must absolutely avoid, the woman who is just taking a break from her man. You have to avoid the woman who's just taking a break from her man. Man, let me tell you something. If I meet a woman, she tell me, man, she broke up with a man within the past year, man, I'm not giving her the time of day. You know what I'm saying? If she been in a serious relationship, man, if it's been over for less than a year, we can't do nothing. I'm not going to even cut her, because when I cut her, she going to get caught up. She already vibing on the alpha energy. She going to get caught up. But if it's been less than a year since she broke up, I'm talking about made a clean break. I ain't talking about since they separated or since they split. I'm talking about a clean break. It got to be a year since she made a clean break. And this is the thing. If a woman got children, she never make a clean break. I want y'all to understand what a clean break means. A clean break means that her and the man don't have no dealing anymore. A woman with children by a man can't never have a clean break. That's why I tell you, men, don't get caught up. How you going to fall in love with another man, baby mama? Because his baby mama is really his woman. If they ain't together, they just separated. You know what I'm saying? It's just a long separation. Because she can never make a clean break from that dude, man. And if you get with a woman who claiming that's why these single mothers always end up married. Somebody gonna marry your baby mama, boy. It don't matter who you are. Somebody gonna marry her. And they gonna stay with her. They're not just gonna marry her, they're gonna stay with her. For years. They might not stay with her forever, but they're gonna stay with her about 10, 15 years. Because that woman needs energy. See, you got to understand this, man. A mother needs double energy. She needs energy for herself and she needs energy for her children. So when she finds the man, when she lies in wait and finds that man who's willing to give of his energy, willing to open himself up and fall in love with her, man, that she going to run him ragged. That man going to be drained dry, man. When that situation is over, that man it's going to take him a long time to find himself. Some men still trying to find themselves 10 years later. Because they fell in love with a woman, man, who absolutely just wanted to drain their energy. And let me tell you something. The women don't just drain your energy because they're evil. Women just drain your energy because that's what they do. It's not about them being bad. It's not about them being good. It's about them being who they are. See, let me tell you what happens, man. When you fall in love with a woman and she's not the woman that you're supposed to be with, she's not the woman that's supposed to be in your life, she's going to leave. And when she leaves, she takes a piece of you with her. Why? Because you gave so much of yourself. You gave parts of yourself that you weren't supposed to give. The problem with men who get in these situations where they in love with the woman, man, they don't have any cutoff point where they say, okay, well, that's all I'm giving. They give everything. They give their freedom. They give their peace of mind. They give their sense of direction. They give their focus. They give their goals. They give their determination. They give their spirit. They give everything. And then when a woman leaves, she's got pieces of you that you will never get back. I want you to understand that. I'm not saying you won't get them back for a long time. I'm saying she's got pieces of you that you'll never get back. You'll never get these pieces back. Ever. Listen, she can't give them back to you if she wants to. They're gone. She didn't just get the energy and just sit on it. She used it to elevate herself, to motivate herself, to do whatever she needs to do with it. You will never be able to get that back or even be able to replace it. It's the book of Alpha Running Man, homie. Read it or weep.